Okay, so today we're going to do another oil change on the Subaru. I have been using Royal Purple 530 synthetic with the Subaru blue filters. I've done a bunch of research now, and I called the guys who built my motor and stuff. Shout out to Tier 1 Imports in Washington, Liberty Lake, Washington. You guys are awesome. But the Type RA runs actually 540 instead of 530. They are pushing more horsepower and everything else like that, so they actually do recommend to run like a motul. So that's what we're going to today, because it is a built motor. We do have aftermarket parts and everything. So we went ahead and went with the 8100 XS Gen 2 540 full synthetic, 100% synthetic. So anyways, there's a couple companies out there that don't have to put certain additives in it because they don't have to meet certain standards. Like this was a 3-week ordeal where I went through. Anyways, so Schaefer's, Motul are two companies that don't have to meet these standards, so they can make their oil however they want. And those standards are great, but you can get better oil that doesn't meet those standards, because these standards are for the general public, right? And when you're a race car, you're not the general public. So anyways, Motul, they have a whole line, and there's a whole breakdown chart and everything, and you can go through and find whatever oil, you know, whether it's the 61, 81, 91, whatever, and make sure that it has the additives that you want in your motor oil. So here's another cool little secret that I've come across. It's not really much of a secret, but I just didn't know about it, so I figured I'd let you guys know. But roki, and this did come from the Mazda dealership, where it was $12.95 for the oil filter. It does have a little condom on it. It is made in Japan, and it is a Mazda filter. This is the Mazda rx-8 09 oil filter. It is a roki, made in Japan. But where did it say that? Oh, nah, right there, roki, right? Tokyo Roki. So this actually has all the same specifications as the Subaru oil filter, where it pops at 23 pressure for bypass. So this is literally the Subaru filter that they made. So anyways, like I was saying, this roki for the 09 Mazda RX-8 is the same filter for the Subaru. It's actually slightly taller. Like the Subaru one ends right about where my thumbnail or this line is at. So you get a little more. But the cool thing is it's the same PSI rating as Subaru. Everything's the same. The thread pattern, it's all the same. And Greddy, RCM, all those guys, this was their standard, was the Tokyo Roki oil filter. So when those guys made a filter, they were trying to beat this for the Subaru. So you can use this, right? And it's 1,000 times better than the blue Subaru one, because that one's just a Fram. And they've showed time in and time out that it's all cardboard inside, while the roki has got a metal mesh, it's got metal supports in there, just the bypass valves, everything is far superior to that blue Subaru. And then the blue Subaru is actually a Fram filter. So yeah. And then I guess the older Subarus It's a Pro something. Prolon? No, that's a controls company I deal with. Anyways, but the old filter's a Pro something. IAG has the Pro filters on their website that you can get, but you can buy the Pro ones off of Amazon as well. But these are what RCM and everybody else tries to beat with their filters. So this is a true JDM one. It does come with the condom on top. The box has the multiple glue spots, while the knockoffs will have just like 3 tabs. Yeah, and then the knockoffs, like I said, don't have the condom on top. So anyways, I just cleaned the oil and everything off. A little more is formed since I made that 2-minute video. So always get that stuff nice and clean. Make sure all your mating surfaces are clean. Everything's as clean as possible, right? So, as you can see, it's the right thread pattern and everything. Screws right in. So, and you can see the blue Subru one, kind of, because it's black as hell. But that is a blue Subru filter that's made by Fram. And that is the Mazda. That is literally a Subru filter that's been rebranded for Mazda. So, a little bit of knowledge. Okay, so that's a 5-liter jug. I have the IAG oil pan with the baffles, winded tray, all that with the Vitron and stuff. OEM dipstick. I have put the full 5 liters of that container in here, and I'm just right at a half in between the low mark and the high mark, just a smidge under half. So luckily I do have another quart of it laying on the ground right there, because I still haven't started it. The oil filter's not full of oil or anything, so that is going to drop. Yeah, so if you are doing this, make sure to get 6 liters. That way you can be 100% topped off and ready to go, and you'll have just a little bit extra for if you burn any oil. Because it's probably not easy to get where you live unless you're in a big city. So I've got to order the stuff off Amazon. Stuff said it would take 2 days, and it took 2 weeks. So I'm going to have to make sure to keep at least a quart on hand. I don't burn any oil, so I should be okay, but I'm still going to order in an extra quart just in case. But yeah, so all right. Well, it looks like it's all made it to the bottom, so that 5 liters is pretty close to full now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the car sit overnight, let it all get down into the crankcase. Tomorrow when I get off work, I'll fire it up, let it run, get up to operating temp, shut it down, wait 5 minutes, and I'll check the dipstick and get back to you guys. So that 5 liters from Motul is actually perfect. So with the IG oil pan and 5 liters, which is 1.3 gallons, seems to be dead nuts. And I did run the vehicle till operating temperature, and then I waited 5 minutes before I checked the oil, so we're good. So that 5 liters from Motul is actually perfect. So with the IG oil pan and 5 liters, which is 1.3 gallons, seems to be dead nuts. And I did run the vehicle till operating temperature, and then I waited 5 minutes before I checked the oil. So we're good. Okay. Thank you for shutting. So I took her out with the 540 in it, did a few rips up and down the road, waited till I got to operating temp, and then I went ahead and took a few rips because it is around 50 degrees outside, so it's not super hot out, which is the whole reason why I did the oil change and went to the 540, because of the built motor and everything, and the RA runs it, and we got hotter temperatures coming. So, first off, what's really weird is my car has always kind of been, you know, that like jerky as it takes off, and I don't care how light you are on the clutch or anything like that. Like, you'd be speeding up and then wham, slam it or whatever, and it kind of had that, you know, that jump or whatever. The car's smooth as butter now. I have no reason why the car would be smoother now with 540 in it than when it had the 530, but like drivability, so much smoother. So much smoother. I know there's going to be some sort of science behind it and everything else. I know that the motor's idling lower than what it has been, but and they're like, all Subarus kind of have this little bit of a, you know, like a little tick going on. It happens with brand new motors. That tick is no longer there with 540. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. But I mean, full rip all the way to 6,000 RPMs, just smooth as butter. I would really like to get an oil pressure gauge on there and monitor oil pressure now they got the 540 in it, and see, you know, run the 540 and then run some 530 again and see what the oil pressure difference is. I mean, it shouldn't make a dang bit of difference. So, sorry about that. My wife just broke a branch off of one of her 10,000 plants and acted like my kid just put her hand in the garbage disposal. So, that's always a good heart jumper. Back to the Subaru. So, loving it. I mean, first impressions, absolutely love that 540. Like I said, I'm going to look into getting the oil pressure sensor and gauge and running that and seeing what the pressure differences are. I'll also do some research a little more and see if anybody else has done it and what they got. Because every build's a little bit different, so it'd be kind of, you know, regardless, it'd be nice to have it for my own brain and peace of mind. So, but yeah, so far, totally do it. I'd 540 the shit out of your Subaru.